All right, welcome back to the Knives Fast channel, guys. It is time for a video you've been waiting for, I hope. But first, welcome to the channel. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Now, I got to do a trip recently out to the Pacific Northwest, my first time. And I went out to the Portland area to the Kershaw factory. They brought me out there for their 50th anniversary and a factory tour. Now, there were YouTube channels like me out there, but there were knife companies like Blade HQ and Knife Center and House of Blades and different folks like that, dignitaries and a little bit of everybody. But it was an honor to be selected to go and do video. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to jump into the first part of the video. So I think we're going to break this up into 3 or 4 videos. And in this first part, I had some audio issues with what's happening. So I'm basically going to narrate over it. And I'm probably going to do that for several of these videos because there was so much factory noise. It's kind of hard to hear a lot of what's going on. But there's a section with the designers that we should be able to do their audio and some. But anyway, you'll see 2 or 3 different, maybe even 4 different videos. One of those will be an actual factory tour, and we'll save that one for last. This first one is kind of interesting. So let's jump into it, and I will do some narration. All right, so the whole thing starts off in the Roanoke, Virginia airport, which is puny. But that's where I flew out of to head towards the Pacific Northwest to the Kershaw factory. We flew there, and then I flew there, and then to Dulles, and then out to Portland. Spent the night in the nice hotel they put me in. And then the next morning, as you can see, headed to the Kershaw factory. Now, in their lobby, which is really cool. And again, another reason I couldn't really use the audio, there's a lot of folks in here chatting. So this is kind of a display of basically all of the Kershaw knives. I don't know if it's all, but a lot of the Kershaw knives over the 50-something year history. As a matter of fact, I think most of these are fairly recent and not all the way back in time. But you can see there's a blur. There's so many familiar looking knives in there. It's super cool. And then here's a bunch of ZT knives as well, as you can see, which is really, really nice to see. They have just a really cool lobby setup. Some other special Kershaw and ZT knives out in the lobby as well. And then the Shun cutlery section, which is their kitchen knives, and that kind of thing. Now, these are the launch series, and right there is the launch 20, right in the middle of the screen, and the Livewires, of course, which have been their bigger sellers. So now we come out in the factory, guys, and at this point, we think we're doing the tour, and they take us around the corner here, and there's all these bins laid out. And you can see here, we have a knife in pieces. Now, what they did was they basically had a live wire, a 50th anniversary special live wire, laid out for each one of us to assemble. Now, here I am trying to set up a camera. That thing never recorded, and my beautiful microphones that I use for everything did not record audio. So all you hear right here is literally background noise from my phone. So that's the reason I'm talking over it. Unfortunately, there was a great demo here by Marvin. I will talk to Marvin at the end of the video, but Marvin is like the factory foreman, and he's basically taking us through and showing us what to do. Now, right off the bat, I try to put grease on the dang knife, and he's like, that's grease. And so I put oil, but then I put way too much oil. They did this so simple for us. So I'm wiping the oil off. What they basically did was gave us the frame and the slide. The slide already had the springs in place. There was already a spring in the button. The blade was down there. Now, he'll tell us in a little bit here, but why? But the blades are already sharpened at this point, which I found really, really cool. So we're kind of going through and identifying the parts and then setting up to do this. Now, again, I would love for you to hear Marvin walking us through this, but unfortunately, my silly microphones did not work for this section of the video, and I'm not really sure why that is. But I'm sorry. It is what it is. And that camera, my second camera, didn't even record at all, even though I know I hit the record button. See, it's got Marvin on there, and he's giving us the whole walkthrough. So this would have been a really, really much better video if things have gone according to plans. But we'll keep forging forward. So first thing we've done is we put the blade in. And now we're looking for a pin here. And we're going to put the pin in a hole in the middle of the back of the blade. There's 3 holes there. And we're going to put that pin in. And I'll even take my thumb out of there. You go. You can see it briefly there. And then we're going to pull down. There's these, you can't see it, but at the very top there, there's these little spring-loaded doors, if you will, that help the blade go out and stay out and come in and stay in. And so I'm pulling that one out of the way while using my thumb, pulling that one out of the way while using my thumb to slide the blade out. See that? We needed the blade partially out. So now, again, he's already done the hard part, and they put the springs on the slide. So again, I've taken apart OTS before, but you guys got to understand, there's a lot going on right now. There's like 15 of us in here assembling the knives. There's him talking, another lady talking in the background, and all the people around me talking. And I'm trying to make sure my cameras are working, which they weren't. And so I'm a little distracted. So there's your slide with the springs already in place. And now I'm setting the second microphone out, but it was never recording any audio from the microphone. So I must not have got the plug all the way in, but it's okay. So the next thing that's going to happen should have been a fairly easy step. So there's the button down there, and there's a notch on the slide that sticks up in the area there. So here's my live wire that I already have, and so the button is right here, and there's a metal piece sticking up, and you want to set that button down onto there. Well, I had a hard time getting it to stay in place, which was really, really interesting. And then eventually I get it in place, but then it falls out and the spring falls out and I have to do it again. So really, really fun and interesting. All right, let's see if we can hear some of the sounds. Whoops, wrong way. Let's see if we can hear some of the sounds from this for just a minute. So basically I'm saying what I just told you, which is it doesn't want to stay in place. But basically what you have to do is hold it. And I held it, but the problem was when I went to put the sandwich on the top part of the handle, the button just fell out. So this just tells you that what these people are doing, and they're assembling, I think in the morning part, that line put together something like just from the start of the day till morning, not our line, but the actual Kershaw line, put together like something like 225 live wires. I think there was 5 people working that line, 5 or 6 people, and they put together like something like 225 live wires from the morning to lunchtime. Craziness. And I'm having trouble assembling one that they already did the majority of the work for me. So now, if I go in there again right now, I guarantee I can put another one together in half the time. Because I know what I'm doing now. It just was tough. So here we go. I get it on, but then it pops out. And again, the spring came out, so I got to put the spring back on, which is super silly of me. Now, around me, there are other folks putting theirs together. Some already have theirs done at this point. Others are way behind me. So at least I didn't feel bad. You can see the one gentleman to my left reaching for screws and helping me at the same time. So we're putting the spring back in now. There's a white plastic piece at the bottom of the spring that goes down in the hole. And that is the hole in the back side of this button right here on the live wire. So very, very cool. I finally get the spring back in place.
Of course I'm messing it up, guys.
All right, so I wanted you to see that. I finally got it back in place, and then we put it back on there. And this time I get it. I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. And you have to hold it in place until you get the top part of the handle in there. and there you go. So really, really cool. Now, he was helping some other folks, so I wasn't sure exactly how to get the blade to start in the track at this point, but literally what you do, and he's going to take it from me and do it, is the blade is sticking out, and you just go like this, and so you can see his shadow there. He shoves it down, and the blade gets back on the track, and you're ready to go. Now I'm going to start putting screws on, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 body screws on the Kershaw Livewire. As you can see here, there are 5, and what happens is I put 4 on, I show it to you, and then I realize I'm missing a screw, and I put another one on. But let's listen for just a minute here.
How am I doing, guys?
What takes you guys so long to get?
So as I always say, this is the reason I don't do a lot of assemblies and disassemblies on camera, because I tend to fumble. I've got hand issues, arthritis and stuff, and so I tend to fumble. I eventually get it done, and I don't actually have issues with doing that, but it's hilarious to me. There we go. I'm like so proud. And then if you look at the knife here, when I show it to you, there's a screw missing on that top left, right there, and I'm like, oops. So go put that screw back in
here. Oh, I need one more screw, guys.
So we'll put that screw on, and then we will actually be done. Now, guys, it was so awesome that Kershaw did this, and we were blown away. These are 1 of 50. There were 50 of these made, and we got a bunch of them. And how cool is it? It's on the way back to me right now. They're shipping it back to me because I couldn't carry it on the plane. But it was so awesome of them to set this up for us. What a great experience to have this knife. And you'll see I show it to you once again here as I try to adjust the camera again that's not even recording. So, but really, really cool to be able to do this. Here you go. Proud moment.
Very nice.
All right, so what you're seeing here is some of the dignitaries from Kershaw Corporate. And then in a moment here, you're going to see some of the other YouTubers putting their knife together as well. And then we're going to have a little aside from Marvin here. But what a cool experience. Here's David C. Anderson from Knife Center.
I got you, man. How's it come out?
Good, man.
Very nice. That finish is beautiful.
It's a great red, man.
All right, guys, we're here in the Kershaw factory, you guys. You'll see me building a Livewire OTF of 50th anniversary, and I'm here with Marvin, and Marvin was telling me when we get to this point of assembly, that blade is already sharp. And why is that?
The reason why is because we don't want any material to get in the channels where the blade is gonna actually slide. So the reason we do it is, would you be able to show me your knife again, Kevin? I can demonstrate why.
Yes,
so
sir.
You want this smooth action.
Smooth action.
And you don't want to hear any grinding inside there. You don't want any of the material. That's the reason we do that.
Smooth as smooth can be. Thank you.
Nice knife for you.
And guys, by the way, he tells me the Kershaw Bel Air was built right on this line, and you guys know that's a knife of the year candidate for me. And so good job, man. Way to go.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. All right, so now what
Doing
we're going to
some
do
laser
is
in here.
let us laser engrave our knives with whatever we want on the blade. So you'll see here in just a second how quick this is. Zap. And that's that. And we have knives fast right on the blade. So that's cool. What an awesome factory. Great people. Guys, more to come in this series, so stay tuned, and thanks for watching.